On today's episode of The Truth About Beer and...
Whoa! Well.
Warning. Viewer-listener discretion is advised. The majority of the content of this program is not factual. It is highly advised that it not be used for teaching your children from said content, other than making an example out of the hosts of what they should not grow up to be. Remember this. It's the beer talking.
Welcome to The Truth About Beer.
Hey, sit back.
Crack open your favorite brew and pour it into a frosty mug.
Hey, thanks for joining us for another episode.
Yes, thank you. I'm Keith Davidson.
And I'm Papa Joey Stay.
And we're your hosts for The Truth About Beer and...
Yeah, we're a podcast and YouTube channel where we get to talk about all the crap that we're interested in.
Best of all, you get to do it while sharing a brew amongst friends. Hey, and if you're a returning listener or YouTube watcher, thank you so much for coming back.
Yes, thank you. But if you're a first-timer, well, thanks again.
Yep.
Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And don't forget, on the bottom of the YouTube page, there's that little notification bell. Make sure you click on it, because what that'll do for you is our new episodes.
Yeah, you'll get an alert every time we release a new one.
That way you won't miss out on it, like today's episode.
Yeah, and we're really excited about today's episode.
Yes, we are. We hope you enjoy it.
Yes, we do.
Everybody, cheers.
Cheers.
So here we are.
You just caught me off guard.
Sorry.
We're here? Oh, yeah, we're here now.
The intros are the best. We're up to episode 209.
209, and it's The Truth About Beer and...
Invasion of the Gnomes.
Ooh. Hey, hit that...
Suspense.
Suspense. There you go. Or whatever it's called.
Mystery?
Mystery. Yeah, that's the
There
one.
it is.
You got to learn your buttons.
Suspense. You put mystery.
I just throw you over there today. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're doing something new this episode. We actually have our producer,
Shaylin.
Hello.
That means we're growing, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right?
Well, look how big we've grown.
I know.
I mean, this is the most people we've had at our desk ever.
This is how big we've gnomed.
He's doing it.
See what happens? You start it.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Hey, we've even got some special beer for this episode.
Gnome beer.
It's actually really good.
It is. Well, this is the IPA version.
And I have the blonde.
So,
This is a Houblon Chauffé.
Chauffé. I like that, Chauffé.
Chauffé. It almost sounds French, but it's Belgium. I think I'm going to try this. It's a triple IPA.
Ooh, is that why it's a 9.0 on the alcohol content?
I think so. I'm excited.
That's pretty yummy.
Oh, yeah.
These are cool little bottles, too.
I know. I'm keeping mine.
I think you should.
Yep. It's going on my bar.
I'm afraid the little gnome's going to jump off the glass.
Does he have sharp teeth?
I don't know. Does he? Do they have sharp teeth? That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on
Which gnome
if you see their
about.
teeth or not. Most of you don't ever see their teeth, except I know one of the stores we were talking about.
That was creepy.
So what is the fascination with gnomes? I mean, you know, when I was a kid growing up, I'd see them. I grew up back east, so I'd see them in everybody's garden as you're walking down the street.
Mm-hmm.
There's always these little creepy little gnomes staring at you, and that's what I always thought. I always thought it was to scare people away, or
I just thought it was decoration.
really?
Yeah. I didn't know anything about them.
They're kind of like just dolls. They're weird.
And some of them are cuter than others.
Yeah.
They're protectors.
Protectors of the garden, or like protectors of the forest.
And make sure
I think
people
are real.
don't eat their garden food. That's the whole point, is to make sure that they protect their carrots or their whatever food's there.
So there's a Guardians of the Garden.
There you go.
I like
There you
that.
go.
That works.
So
Hey.
they're like the scarecrows for the bunnies.
Yes.
Right. There you go. There you go. I
They're,
like that.
they're the owls for the pigeons.
Wow.
Wow.
Shay really knows her gnomes.
Tell us more, Shay.
She knows more than any of us.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you didn't introduce Michelle either, so we have
isn't
to
that rude?
talk about Michelle and all of her wonderful gnomes that are up here.
Yes.
So I do have to ask you, so I've been curious.
Okay.
What sparked your interest in the gnomes?
Good question. So I love to craft, and I am on several craft pages on Facebook. And one of them is a Dollar Tree page.
Okay.
And I saw somebody make one, and that was it.
You were hooked.
And I was hooked. I made my first one using, these are, I'm not sure if I say the names right on these beards, but they're fluffy beards. I just used, like snow, like, the fake snow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looked kind of funny. I wish I had a picture of it, but I don't.
You can send us a picture.
I can. I'll send you guys a picture
Okay.
of my first one. And then I think it was Mom, she saw my gnome and she's like, oh, I need to make some Christmas gifts. And I'm like, I got this.
That's perfect.
So I kind of created a couple of them and then posted those. And then I got a lot of love,
Responses from
a
them.
Yeah.
lot of responses. So that's kind of where it started.
They're awesome. I love them.
thanks.
Especially our Truth About Beer gnomes.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
Those ones are my favorites, especially the zombie and the Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bigfoot's pretty cool.
Those were my favorite to make.
So do you still have your very first one you made?
I do.
You need to hang on to that for sure.
Oh, it's there. Yep, I'm not getting rid of it.
They say the originals could be worth something someday. You never
Oh,
know.
let's see.
The most original sock gnome.
See.
You're right.
The thing, it's not just the gnomes that I love to do. You see with Bigfoot, I actually made the feet out of clay. Mm-hmm. The brains I made out of clay. So it's actually expressing more of my creativity of doing other things that I can actually add to accessorize with the gnomes.
Well, just being able to envision the different gnomes, I would have never thought up half of this stuff. I mean, that's pretty incredible that you can think of all that.
I haven't seen anybody make those other two gnomes that I've made. So I'm actually, that's another thing that I'm really interested in, is making ones that aren't even out there.
But no one's doing. Yeah.
That no one is
exactly.
doing. So
Gnome one.
Like,
if anybody has an idea, I would love to.
I'm just going to bring up a point real quick. Annabelle just started out as a regular Raggedy Ann doll.
Yes.
And look what happened.
ding, 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 ding. Ideas.
Do. Yeah, okay. So,
Creepy.
who knows?
Who knows?
One of your gnomes could.
I do have a request for a voodoo gnome.
Ew.
Ooh, who wants that?
I'm not telling you.
Okay. Yeah. That might be scary.
So they ask you to go do the voodoo that you do so well.
Secretly, I guess.
Well, you do have very original gnomes. I mean, who else has a zombie abduction gnome?
Or a Keith and Joey gnome.
Or Keith and Joey gnome, exactly.
You guys do.
I don't think we're going to be as popular as Bigfoot, though.
Probably not.
I think Bigfoot's got us beat.
And the zombie.
And the zombie gnome, yeah. Well, any gnome that holds his brains in his hands is pretty cool.
I think that's
says it's
somebody
his
else's
brains?
brains, isn't
That's
it?
true. It could be. It could be somebody else's brains.
Because there's somebody else's arm that's on his feet there. So
It's got that severed arm.
that's what he did. He ripped the arm off and then he beat the brain out of the guy with his own arm.
Is that a Negan?
I need to make a bat with spikes on it.
Exactly. There you go.
Make a Daryl.
Walking Dead gnomes.
There you
Wow.
go.
Fairies.
Wow.
It's endless.
May have to contact AMC to see if they'll sponsor you for that.
You just name him.
Something different.
This is Beryl and
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is Nick.
Oh, come on. What's the
Regan.
other
Oh,
names?
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
You gotta have Regan.
Oh, Regan.
Here we go.
Well, Well, you could have Negan just spelled the G-N-E-G-A-N.
There you go.
Cal.
Coral.
You got to have Cal.
You said Cal, I said coral.
Coral. Yeah, I was going to say Carol, but no, there is Carol. So
There is Carol, yeah.
Carl. Coral.
Coral. All right. Where were we?
I don't know. We're talking about gnomes and looking up the history of gnomes. It's kind of every website has a different idea about it, pretty much. But one thing I did notice or read, I mean, pretty much every culture kind of has their version of the gnome.
Kind of like the zombie, though.
Yeah,
If you think about it.
Yeah, because I read, like fairies are part of the gnome family because they come in, and then of course leprechauns.
The luck of the Irish.
We're Irish.
My lucky charms.
Yeah, we're Irish.
Irish.
I tried to say it.
Irish. Yes, for the mixed days.
Yes, we're the mixed days.
Yeah.
But there's still a creepy factor to leprechauns, too, though. Right? I mean,
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, the story behind leprechauns are pretty terrifying as well.
that'll be a whole nother episode.
That would be.
So I think the one thing I saw kind of run the same on most of them is they did say they originated, or at least the gnome originated in Germany, and they were cast out of clay, and they don't really look anything like the gnomes you have here on the ends. But they were a little more creepy looking.
Yeah.
But then the English got a hold of the gnomes and thought, these are really cool. We want these in our gardens. And so they started adorning their gardens with the gnomes. And there may be a little superstition in it that they believed that they would protect their gardens. And they got to a point where gnomes were so popular that the rich would start hiring, or almost sound like they were enslaving them to me from the story, but they would find people that would dress up as gnomes and live in their gardens, and they built little huts for them to live in, and it was to entertain their guests. Check out my gnome collection; they're real,
So you say, the first gnome was made out of clay. So were gnomes not real beings at one time, or were they ever real, or
Good question.
were they ever the mystical creatures that we thought they are?
Well, there's those kinds of stories out there.
That was good.
That was good.
That was really
That was good timing.
Wow.
You know what creeped me out about that? I didn't see Joey's hand move at all, but I heard the sound.
Yeah, I've heard different stories. I don't know if you want to get into just delve right into the creepy.
Do it.
We love the creepy.
I know.
Let's talk about the creepy. I like the creepy.
Okay, so you know how we like to tie things in,
Right.
We always bring up our past guest, Tim, and things that he's brought to our attention. And he said there's, I believe, 126 known species of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think about gnomes being aliens? And they could have been here for a very, very long time. And the story of gnomes are that I believe the word gnome is, I did read that somewhere. What it had to do with like a underworld type of a creature.
Huh.
Are you looking that up, Shay?
I'm trying to find
You're
it.
just amazing.
Get on that shit.
She's a book of knowledge.
A legendary dwarfish creature supposed to guard the Earth's treasure underground.
Yeah, but the word gnome,
Oh, well, I don't know what to
actually,
It
the
means
actual-
a small, ugly person.
a small, ugly person?
Yeah, the actual definition of a gnome is a small, ugly person.
Well, that's just mean.
Isn't that sad?
So that would be cruel to call somebody a gnome.
Yeah.
You're as cute as a gnome. Wow.
So they they don't tie into dwarfs at all then, huh? It's
Dwarves are not gnomes.
Yeah. No, I know they're not gnomes,
Gnomes are different.
Right. I'm trying to think of the idea that they are potentially aliens.
Well, they were known to live in the underground, and I believe Montana, Wyoming, somewhere in there up in the mountains, they believe there's gnomes. It's Native Americans believed in these little creatures. They didn't call them gnomes, but they said they were an underworld or an underground creature that protected the forest and animals and those types of things. So yeah, so that's America,
right?
It's America. We got American gnomes.
Again, that's why I don't like the term alien so much, because there's so much we don't know. There's so much we're still learning, and I think anything that we consider not from this world would be extraterrestrial, so that's why I don't like the term alien, but so they could be extraterrestrial beings that were
subterranean extraterrestrial.
Right. Well, apparently we have aliens that live in the ocean. So why not? Why is that not possible?
It's true.
Of course it is.
It's all very possible.
Very.
So what do you think gnomes are, Michelle?
Cute. I really don't know.
See, that's such an oxymoron.
Cute, ugly little person.
They're so ugly that they're cute.
That is the words from my coworker. That's exactly what she said. They're so ugly, they're cute.
You know what I like about your gnomes, though? You look at the traditional gnomes that we picked up and put on the end there.
Yes.
You actually see their faces.
Yes.
Your gnomes, you don't see the faces, so it's kind of like a mystery.
And
as to what they look like.
Exactly, and that's where I probably should find why. I don't know why they don't have eyes, but
so
that's all I saw.
That wasn't intentional. That was.
It's because worms don't have eyes. They're subterranean creatures, so they don't need to see.
That's a good point.
I just came up with that. I think I'm brilliant.
Throw it out there, see if it sticks. It works. I like that.
Worms don't have eyes.
Why?
They don't?
They get dirt in their eyes if they had eyes.
A mole has eyes?
He probably keeps them closed when he's digging. I don't know.
Have you ever seen a mole?
Yeah, I've seen a mole.
They're
but
ugly.
They're ugly little people. They're ugly little creatures.
They're gnomes.
They're gnomes.
They're gnolls. Anyway, so that wasn't on purpose that you didn't make them with the eyes in.
No, that's how I saw them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Unfortunately, they can't see.
So when you look at traditional gnomes, how they look versus, and I'm curious because I haven't really researched a whole lot of gnomes, so I don't know if there are other gnomes out there that depict what yours do, without eyes and facial features.
Yeah, these gnomes all have eyes. The ones I'm looking at.
Your traditional garden gnomes.
They got full faces. Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
I mean, it's just to enhance the nose, the button nose. Like, it's just a decorative feature to enhance, because every gnome that you see, every garden gnome is going to have eyes because they have to protect their garden. They have to carry their knives and take splinters out of their animals. Like, I think it's just a button nose type thing.
But I kind of like it because it adds to the mystery.
Cute. Right. And a lot of people are bothered by it because you can't see eyes.
Really? Somebody said that?
Yeah. I have had several people that get bothered by it. I think Caesar might be one of them. I don't know.
Is it because it makes them more creepy because they don't have eyes?
Probably.
Yeah, but would you want that? I mean, again, the thing that creeped me out as a kid is every time I walk by somebody's property, these little statues are staring at me, and to me it adds to the creep factor.
It does. It does. They have that doll face.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And dolls are creepy.
Wasn't there a gnome in Poltergeist?
And Poltergeist?
No, it was a clown.
No, I know there's a clown, but I thought there was a gnome in one of the horror movies.
Oh.
One of the.
Shay, look that up.
I have to look that
I
up.
don't
know. Well, the popularity of gnomes, going back to the good old days.
Sorry, we digressed.
Yeah. Since they were really popular, then there was a fun game that people would start playing. They would start doing gnome napping.
Gnome napping.
No,
Or snatchers. Gnome snatchers.
Gnome
Gnome
snatchers.
napping.
Gnome napping.
And they would take a gnome and make it disappear. They'd put it in their own garden. Or there were the ransom gnomes, where they would kidnap people's gnomes and place a ransom on them.
Wow.
And the traveling gnome.
I've seen that one.
So people would kidnap somebody's gnome, take it on a trip around the world, get pictures of the gnome in different places, and post them, and then they would put the gnome back when they came back.
So that's where Travelocity got their idea from. How dare them?
So wasn't that fun?
That was fun.
But now you can get arrested for that.
For gnome napping?
Yeah, it's not
or
like
gnome
it's a thing.
traveling
gnome
gnome.
napping.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, who has
it's-
gnomes that you're gonna go and
People
kidnap?
still have gnomes.
Maybe I should go around my neighborhood and count and see.
How many gnomes you got?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
There was a
I actually
story
would.
of a gnome that I'm guessing someone took it out of someone's yard and they painted over it with like shoe polish and put it back in the yard and had like a picture of it sunbathing. And so it had a little tan.
Oh, the gnome games.
But do you see like some of the original gnomes? If you see how much they're worth, they're $400 or $500 a piece. I mean, they're expensive.
Oh wow.
the original
like-
German ones?
Yeah,
Or
like
those are-
well, I don't know if they're
are they-
original German ones, but I know you just see if you look up collectibles and you look up some of
Yeah.
these gnomes, they're worth a lot of money. Some of them.
I
So I
think
could-
Michelle's gnomes are going to be worth some money.
I do. I think they are.
They're worth money
Thanks,
now.
guys.
I mean, we've got a lot of money sitting here on our desk.
We do
So I'd be
a lot of time.
I'd be curious as to in our audience who has gnomes in their yards. Does anybody follow that tradition?
Yeah. Or if somebody has a really cool gnome story
We'd love to hear
or
that.
legend or tell.
Fun fact.
That
of
would
the
be
day.
cool. You got a fun fact of the day?
No, that is a fun
Oh,
fact.
yeah.
Actually, no, I do have a fun fact. National Gnome Day is June 21st.
Yeah.
Well, everybody should have their own day.
Yeah, but
Does gnomes get theirs on June 21st?
Yep, it's a National Gnome Day.
So
It's
what do
an
you do?
actual thing.
Did
I
you
mean,
dress up like a gnome?
Go
Do
buy a
you
gnome.
Go buy a gnome.
Go buy a gnome.
Just make sure you're not.
Is
No
there an
napping.
international?
Yes, there is an International Gnome Day. I think it's
Is-
like the 28th.
Well, here's an idea. Everybody buy a gnome from Michelle, and then you'll have one for Gnome
Celebrate.
Day,
That's right.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And then for our next selfie-sode, which will be in September,
Oh,
we
do a
need-
selfie with a gnome.
yeah, everybody needs selfies with a gnome
That is awesome.
and a bear.
And a beer.
But then how can
I
you,
will get this one.
You know what I did see today looking at gnomes? We have to get it. There is a gnome that's carrying 2 beer cans. We've got to find that and get that. That is awesome.
Where did you see that?
Yeah.
I think I just Googled gnomes. I was looking for gnomes, and it
I
came
bet
up.
Michelle could make one of those.
Oh, I know Michelle can make them.
Let's do it. let's
Right?
let's do it. Or do you want a case of beer?
That'd be cool. Little mini case.
Little mini case.
And
That'd
they'll
be
have the
Yeah.
chauffe.
Chauvet.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
I wonder if you could buy little tiny bottles, can you?
Yeah.
Print little labels
can.
on
She's
put the
got her
labels on.
little, her little coffee cups and
Yeah.
beer bottles
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
That would be cool.
wow.
Make a little 6-pack.
I do somewhere have, I think that little dude might have a beer. Oh, you guys have beers.
We have beers.
Yeah, you guys
our
have
guys
beers.
have beers.
Fun stuff.
yeah, and there's a Frappuccino over there too.
So, Michelle,
Yeah.
I turned you on to a episode of or what was it called now? Mysteries,
Mystical,
mysteries and creatures
Mystery
in America.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was one on the Evil Gnome
Yes. Are we talking about the lady and her 3 kids?
in Porterville, California.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So, what do you remember about watching that?
Oh, first of all, just seeing a little tiny creature run at me would terrify me. No, just the fact that not just one family lived in this house, but 2 families lived in this house and had similar experiences. I think the second family had more of an interaction than the first family.
Yeah, I think
down at the pond, where
I think it got more adventurous
yeah,
and braver.
well, and I also think the family was a little more not adventurous, but I think they were not as scared.
So they were more open to it.
Yes and no. I think that they didn't let the first incident scare them to not return. I guess. But I will say, don't take things away from the gnome. They took all the garden stuff out of the garden. They took all the fish out of the pond, and that drove the gnome insane.
Oh, okay. Huh, interesting.
Insane.
What I found really interesting about that, though, is you did say, it was two different families, but neither of the families knew of each other or their stories. And it was through a third party that they were brought together and were able to compare notes and then realized, oh, this is the same house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they didn't even know it was the same house. They just knew it was kind of like the same.
It wasn't the house.
Kind of a story.
They lived in the house, but it was more the barn.
Yeah.
I think he lived in the barn. And terrifying.
And he had little sharp teeth.
And little sharp teeth, yep.
But he still had the red hat.
Yep. He did have the red hat.
And I remember one of the stories the lady told was that she heard commotion out on her porch and things getting knocked over. And that's what she saw run past her window. Was the tip of her little pointy red hat.
Yep. Yeah. So the first interaction with the first family, the mom and son went grocery shopping and they were coming home. And she felt something watching her and didn't think anything of it. And then the second time, I think it actually started running towards her. Mm-hmm. And she dropped the groceries and took her son in and ran inside, shut the door. And I think she saw the pointy hat in the window. And
it had a chuckle, a cackle or chuckle of some sort that was pretty eerie, huh? Yeah. No, I don't.
So did they say? I did watch it because you sent it to me. I just can't remember now. Were they saying that it was an actual gnome that was alive, or was it like a possessed statue? They never really said, did they?
It sounded like it was alive. I mean, it made sounds and had facial expressions and moved and ran and So
I was gonna say, as with any object, anything has the ability to become possessed, but it doesn't really get up and run around. Although I think Annabelle did.
That's a future episode.
That was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
So when did gnomes? And I'm going to look at our producer because she probably knows this. When did gnomes make their appearance in America?
Oh, I have no idea.
Gnomes in America.
Gnomes in America.
American gnomes. We've got our patriotic gnomes here.
Those are cool.
Yes.
They're American.
So
come on, Shay.
While Shay's looking that up, why don't we tell our audience where they can get these gnomes?
Oh,
I think that's important.
Yes. So they are for sale on my Etsy site, BS Designs, or you can go to our Facebook page. And if you have a gnome that you want customized, you can always message us and we'll customize them.
That's
you
cool.
love the challenge, don't you?
I do. I really do. Actually, I don't have. Well, it's probably down there. For Valentine's Day, I had a guy ask me, his girlfriend wanted he wanted to get a Valentine's gnome for his girlfriend, and she did yoga. So he wanted me to make a yoga gnome. I made a dude gnome with the beards, but he wanted a girl one. So I did make hers a little bit different than the male. I was really impressed. I didn't think that I could make a yoga gnome.
That's cool.
Who makes yoga gnomes?
That's cool though that you can customize it.
Yeah, that was my first one, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm down. I want to make more.
Got to do more.
Got to make more." I love them.
1930s.
1930s when they made their appearance. Interesting.
And that became popular when Snow White came out because they put them together with gnomes and dwarves.
Okay.
See, I knew the dwarf
Walt
came in
Disney.
somewhere.
They all had those cool little hats.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So we have Walt to thank for that.
Yes, we have Walt to thank for that one.
Nice.
Thank you, Walter. Walter White. No, that
No,
was the wrong
no.
Walt.
One.
No.
Well, he helped people see things.
Oh, he did. That's yes, he did.
Oh, I digress all the time with that. So there was a story. There is. I can see it right here in front of me. It's the Mysterious Gnomes of Walton Park. It's in England. And Walton Park's nice. A nice park. It's got water and all this kind of fun stuff. And it was a group of school kids that they took to the park. And a handful of them kind of wandered off into the forest a little bit. When they came across, I think they said like 30
cow.
little gnome-like creatures. And they were all paired up, riding around in these little car-like things that looked like little bubbles. Yeah, but they didn't have steering wheels or anything. They were just chasing each other, laughing, having a great old time.
Like hamsters.
That's
in a
all I
ball?
thought about was a hamster.
Hamster.
All I just thought about. I just see them
That's
running.
all I can
cars.
see.
Oh, if only we had a cartoon
And,
of that.
so, I mean, they said that they were the typical pointy hat gnomes. And the funny thing about the whole story is all the kids, corroborated the story and even drew pictures, and their pictures were
All similar?
All similar
Oh, creepy.
of these little gnomes, and they weren't threatening at all. They were just having a fun time chasing each other in their little bubble cars. And yeah, that was. I'm trying to see if I can find the year on
That's
that.
creepy.
Yeah, I think I've got some pictures here. We'll have to throw those up.
I just
So
came up
there's,
with a great idea for a gnome.
Oh, what is it?
Put a gnome in one of those hamster balls.
I'm thinking.
Right? Glue him in and let him move around the wheel. That would be great.
Challenge accepted.
I don't know, if you guys grew up on the West, I don't know if you've ever really had the ability to play around in the woods or anything like that. But if you've ever gone in the woods, it's creepy. It really is. Where I grew up, there was woods all around me. So that was the thing to do. You go in the woods and play. But there were some parts of the woods that were pretty creepy,
Oh, I bet.
especially at night.
Oh, I bet.
You hear all kinds of stuff.
I'm just reading that they even have a Fairy Investigation Society
Shay,
That was
did
awesome.
you hear that?
in Nottingham,
Yes.
Oh,
and that was not the only sighting by the children. There are other people
In that same park.
in that same place.
Interesting.
Yeah.
where is this?
It's in Nottingham,
Nottingham.
England, somewhere in there, wherever Nottingham is in England. Sounds naughty.
Wasn't that where Robin Hood's from?
Yeah. I think so. It was
Oh,
the-
yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
Well, wasn't there, in his story, wasn't there a bunch of dwarfs? There was.
And Robin Hood?
Yeah.
Men in tights?
Not men in tights. No, there was the dwarfs in the story. You guys don't remember that?
Yeah, no, I do. I
Yeah.
remember seeing the.
I don't.
I wonder if that's where that kind of comes from.
So then maybe they were some of them merry men. Merry gnomes.
Maybe you are right. Maybe a dwarf is a gnome.
I don't know. I don't know if
Because
that's
the German name for a garden gnome is a Gartenwerg, and the actual word means garden dwarf. So I'm wondering if a dwarf is a gnome. So that means in Snow White, the dwarves
Oh.
were gnomes.
I knew they were my favorite.
Oh my god, that means that their gnomes are hybrids,
Oh, yeah.
right? And dwarfs are the byproduct of that.
Right. That's the humanoid.
Except we can't call them dwarfs anymore.
No, dwarf is the.
Yeah, dwarf is the correct
the
Oh, it
correct
is?
term.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't
What-
call them
little
It's the-
people.
Not
yeah.
or the
It's
M
the
word
M
is.
word.
Oh yeah, well I
Yeah.
never use that word anyway,
No,
but
so, but yes,
Okay. I was just making sure I was politically correct.
yes,
Don't wanna
dwarf
get in
is,
trouble.
is politically correct.
Proud of
So that's interesting. That's interesting
Yeah.
that you found that because I thought I read that
Gartenwerg.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Gartzenwerg.
Gartzenwerg?
Gorksenwerg.
But you gotta say it like a German,
almost sounds like-
Gartzenwerg.
That almost sounds like a Harry Potter thing, isn't it?
That's
Gryffindor?
Hogwarts. Well, yeah. Or Chauffet.
That's French. Boy, this is just an international show
We're just
today.
making a trip around the world here, aren't we?
Boy, a couple of these, and that wouldn't be too hard to do
You might
without
start
leaving
seeing,
my seat.
You might start seeing some gnomes. These things might come alive in a little bit. That's an interesting. God, you're right about the whole alien thing, because we have so many species of aliens that we're aware of. Who knows? How many are we unaware of?
Yeah, and every description other than those that are the kind of hybrids that resemble us. But I mean, you hear them talk about the lizard type ones or the
Right.
reptilian
The
ones. I mean,
reptilians, yeah.
that sounds totally out of this world. And even mermaids could be real.
Oh, boy.
I mean, as
What are we
Yeah.
getting into? now?
I mean, not with nice shells.
Nice tail.
Yeah.
Look at the scales on those.
Oh, so much for the family show.
Yeah, they look like they're cute little gnomes.
Yeah,
They're naughty.
you
little
only
gnomes.
knew. But all right. We go back to Greek mythology, like we talked about the half man, half horse. Couldn't remember what they were
Cronus.
called. Cronus. Okay. Was it? You sure? I couldn't remember because we were both wrong
I
on the
looked it
episode.
up. Look it up, Shay.
I'm on
Batman.
it.
Yeah.
But no, but that's my point, though. The point was that was the belief back then. So why is this so
Centaur.
outlandish?
Centaur.
That's
I
right.
should know that from Percy Jackson.
you should.
I really should.
That's where that whole Geico commercial comes in. Motar.
The centaur.
The half man, half bike, half motorcycle. You ever seen that commercial? Wow. Do you guys watch
Okay,
TV?
so that's-
I
See, I would never made that when they called him motar.
Centaur.
It was like centaur.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then that makes
Centaur.
sense.
See? Now we just cleared it up for
Yeah.
all of America.
So now I'll remember centaur.
When people looking at that commercial go, what the hell are they talking about?
Because
Now
originally
you
I
know.
thought, no, you're talking about Pan, but Pan
That's right.
was the half goat, half man.
Yes.
Right.
That played the flute. That was supposed to be a flute, Can
we repeat that? I'm going to have to rewind that and play that back. That was great.
Yeah, I mean, I would say what the type of flute that sounded like, but we won't go there.
I'm thinking, Michelle, you probably don't want to make that voodoo gnome, because if that's how the gnomes are making us act today, I don't want to see what a voodoo one would do.
I don't know. I mean, I might still have to make it.
Wow.
I might.
You better get some sage when you make the damn
You're
thing.
right.
though.
You're right.
You need to make a shaman gnome
Oh, that'd be cool.
Ooh,
That would be cool.
that
with
would be
sage and
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
that would cleanse a place. That would be a great gnome to have.
Add to your collection.
Well, to take to when we go do investigations, and it could be a little offering to protect the home.
I'm down.
Should make it with a
Oh, boy.
holder where you can actually put the sage in the holder and burn the sage.
Yeah, like
Right?
incense.
Like an
yeah.
incense, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is marketing, people. Marketing
Okay,
101. We're
okay,
coming
like
up with
I
all kinds of
said.
stuff here.
This is our think tank.
I did,
She's part
yep.
of our think tank.
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
So is
was
Shay.
Yeah.
I heard that too. That wasn't you?
No.
That was me.
Okay.
Did one of the gnomes fall?
I actually got scared.
I accidentally hit the barrel.
Oh, that was you.
Sorry. Should have just kept my mouth.
I thought the zombie gnome was waking up. Had to put him down.
Oh man.
Oh, I know if we had even more time, we could find all kinds of crazy gnome stories.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen on YouTube
Excuse me.
that there's a few videos on there of people that think they've actually caught gnomes on camera. Do you watch any of those?
I've seen some. I saw it on was it Paranormal Caught on Tape? There was an episode.
Oh, that is crazy.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a little gnome that was running around in somebody's house on their birthday. It caught it running around the corner, and then mom went around, and it freaked her out. And then the little gnome walking down the street, but they're always so out of focus.
Right, right.
Like,
I think the episode I saw on Paranormal was they caught it on their surveillance camera. I think he was running through the driveway or something. We caught it.
I think that's the one I
was
saw.
Kind of creepy.
That would be creepy.
Yeah, it was.
Creepy gnome.
They're all creepy.
Oh, they're cute.
Mine are.
Yours are cute. The original ones are
they're-
weird,
But they're ugly little people.
but
No, what was it?
creatures.
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 Ugly creatures.
Yeah. Sorry. Gnomes, this is just gross me out. Some gnomes were said to have magical powers to protect or punish people with their knives. Like, you know how like they're holding like shovels?
Yeah.
They would use that to punish somebody for doing bad.
Would
I guess.
Would
but
they
like,
stab them in the shins or something?
with no elbow movement, no joints.
They punish themselves or like their own gnomes, or would they punish
no, they
people?
would punish people.
Really?
Or to reward themselves with happiness.
Wow, that's kind of creepy.
That grosses me out.
I'm gonna stab you with a shovel. Make me happy. Wow, that's weird.
I'm depressed. I got to go stab somebody.
I know, right? That's crazy.
Wow. Well, okay.
I want to hear more creepy stories. So if you guys have any creepy stories like that, definitely share them with us because that's cool.
Yeah. We do need more cryptid type stories we'd like to delve into.
Absolutely.
We're fascinated by all of it.
Thanks to you two. Now I have to be intrigued by it. I was happy with just happy gnomes. And then you had to bring in the creepy. But now I have to learn about the creepy.
That's easy. You already did creepy. You already did a zombie gnome. That's kind of creepy.
That was her first creepy one, though.
Not
Right?
real happy.
Do I need to make a
Well,
more
I mean,
scary?
your Bigfoot gnome isn't creepy.
No.
He's an attractive big fellow.
I'm talking more about the stories.
Little
Like
hairy.
now I have to go and like watch some of these creepy ones.
Gnomes caught on tape. If you want to watch a happy gnome, there's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you know
I knew
they
that
have a
was coming.
sequel?
Do they? All right, I haven't even seen the first one.
Nermlock. It's Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, boy.
That reminds me of what was it, the thumb? Yeah, bat thumb and...
Oh, I remember that.
Remember all those?
I remember.
You ever seen
those.
any of those?
No.
There are movies that were all
It's
Just
made with a
thumbs?
thumb.
made
Yeah.
with people's thumbs dressed up as...
They have
The
The
one for the
Godfather.
Titanic.
yeah,
The Titanic one's so
yeah.
hilarious.
They had bat thumb, so it was Batman.
What did you say the Sherlock Holmes one was Normlock?
Hold on. Sequel to
Gnome Lock Holmes.
I would have said Sherlock
so.
Gnome.
You might,
Right?
you might be right.
Okay,
You
I was
might
gonna
be
say
right.
that would make more sense, but
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
so now we have to go look up, Joey. We have to go look up how many movies were made about gnomes.
That would be fascinating.
We're gonna have to post that list somewhere.
Gnome movies.
They
bet
have
you
one
that-
that's called Gnome Alone.
No,
It's a horror movie.
is it real? I'm sure. I'm sure it
2011.
is. 2011, really?
2011.
Is it a Christmas movie?
I don't think so. I just saw the trailer and there was a gnome with a shovel laid on the floor and he's like,
Like Chucky?
Well,
yeah.
if Chucky was a gnome, Chucky's a doll.
Those dolls.
But gnomes are doe-like.
You know, there was a, come to think of it, it was a Twilight Zone that had the gnome-like little dude with the knife that was chasing the lady around.
Right.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that. Was that on the Twilight Zone movie or one of the
Yeah, I
of the
believe
TV
it was
shows?
on the Twilight Zone movie.
Huh. I'd have to,
Yeah.
I have to see that.
Yeah. And then,
I'm curious now.
wow. And then it was the one with Mr. Third Rock from the Sun dude. John
Lithgow.
Lithgow. When he was on the plane, the creature that was on the wing of the plane.
Yes, I do remember that.
Remember that?
Yes.
So that was kind of like a freaky gnome.
That
I thought that was like a Bigfoot.
No, it was a small little creature.
Oh, was it a small?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think that it was a gnome-like. Oh.
So I bet it wouldn't take a lot to really find a lot of creepy gnomes.
2015. That's another Gnome Alone. There's
Gnome Alone 2?
No, they have a cartoon Gnome Alone, and then they have a Gnome Alone in 2015, which is like a devil-looking dude.
Is the creepy one.
Oh
So
my
the
God,
gnome-
that is freaky looking.
Yeah, you see him?
Which one pointed out? Oh, yeah.
That's
that is
creepy looking.
They've got Gnomes and Trolls 2008, Arthur 2006.
See, again, it goes back to gnomes. But you said trolls were the enemy of the gnomes, right?
But I'm wondering if a gnome is a troll. It's just a large gnome.
Okay, now I'm getting confused. Are they dwarfs or are they trolls?
Well, that's just my thesis.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
just
maybe
my,
they were all friends at one time,
They could have been. But then you got to know.
and then they had a family dispute.
Kind of like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, there you go. Nomeo and
Romeo and Juliet.
That's a good movie.
Is it?
It's a good
Is it really, Shay?
I don't know if I
Watch it.
could sit down on a Friday night and watch a gnome movie. I don't know. Maybe I could.
It doesn't have to be a Friday night.
That's usually when I sit down and watch movies, but because Saturday we're usually doing a live episode, so
Yeah, we didn't see any gnomes last night, did we?
no, we did not.
Good show, by the way, last night.
It was a lot of
Thanks.
fun.
It was interesting stuff.
A gnome named Norm. Interesting.
Norm!
1990 it was made. That's interesting. So this shows a gnome with a pointy ear. With pointy ears. They all have pointy ears?
Well,
They
that's
do
like
not.
that's like an elf.
They don't, huh?
Oh, yeah.
See,
yeah.
I think elves are gnomes,
We've got
basically, or
fairies.
gnomish.
gnomes, dwarves, trolls,
Leprechauns.
leprechauns. Could they all be the same?
Well, they could be maybe different nationalities, I say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all humans, but we're all very different looking according to nationality,
True.
right? So that could be
Could
the
be.
case.
A goblin.
So there has to be a master species then that the gnomes fall under. If you're gonna split it off into trolls, dwarfs, and what was the other one? Elves and leprechauns. A leprechaun is kind of like a dwarf anyway. I don't know. They're all
Then
kind of the
maybe it would just
same,
be a
really.
Dwarf. Maybe a dwarf would trend.
Or maybe it's just a different version based on where you're at. Maybe in Ireland, right? A gnome is a leprechaun.
Right.
It could be the same thing. And they believe that it brings luck.
Just their version.
Right. Instead of protecting a garden, it's got a pot of gold.
Yeah, that was one of the stories about the gnomes. Why people can't see them is because, kind of like Toy Story, they would be moving around, but as soon as human eyes were affixed on them, they would
freeze up.
freeze up.
Okay, that just made it really creepy because you realize you have 30 gnomes sitting in your studio here. And when,
off the lights.
and when the
What are
lights
they
go
gonna
out, they're all going to scatter.
That was the one thing I read. At nighttime, they socialize. They eat. They
Oh,
party.
boy.
Well, I will say these gnomes have been in my house for a while.
And they keep your house so clean, don't they?
With 5 dogs, they're not doing a really good job.
Where the hell's it goes to? We need to turn that thing on right now to see if these things start talking to us. Seriously though, think about that. If that was a true concept, how freaky would that be?
Creepy.
Joey's going to start hearing flutes out here in the middle of the night.
Wow, this is a really long article. But
Oh, you
it's
found
very
it?
interesting.
You found a story?
about the different gnomes.
I'm just curious because all this is starting to come together now. If you think about it, because
Yeah.
you got your trolls, you got your leprechauns, you got your gnomes, and they're all they're all the same description. Really, they're all small.
They are seen to be troublemakers. They have good luck. They are good luck.
Are we talking leprechauns or trolls? Or
Gnomes.
Gnomes, okay.
But they look like trolls.
I think they're just mischievous.
Yeah, that's what they said. Troublemakers.
Yeah. So that's how they have fun.
That's my favorite gnome.
They're like kids misbehaving.
So yeah, it looks like there's like in mythology, you know how you have your different gods and all that.
Right.
So there's kind of the same thing in almost like a gnome mythology. And I can't pronounce any of these names, but there's the ruler of the Earth's mineral systems, and
They all have a role.
they all have a role.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on a second. You just said ruler of the Earth's mineral systems.
Yeah, that was, and if I could, that's called petroleum.
No,
Now
I
that
was.
I read it right. It's petroleum.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Oh my god! All right, that just kicked my idea way out the door. But
it?
no, I was thinking back Anunnaki.
Well, kind of opposite of, as far as stature.
No, right, but we learned that the hybrids were originally put here to mine gold. So it goes back to your alien idea,
Oh, yeah.
where the trolls put here too.
Oh.
Why do I say trolls? I keep going back to trolls. No,
Gnomes to protect the minerals.
right. And that's why they are mischievous, because they are the protectors. I still want to go back to Guardians of the Garden. That sounded a lot better than what we're making them out to be halfway through this episode. Little troublemakers.
They really are. The Grand Gnome Wizard is Gustav and Cadius.
Argentina has some creepy stories.
So what the hell is a Smurf? I don't know. When you said the Grand Wizard or whatever, I keep thinking of Papa Smurf, or just I don't know why. It just popped in my head.
Oh, what was Elmo?
Elmo was Sesame Street.
I know, but what was he?
Who the hell knows what he is? I don't know what you want to talk about some creepy creatures. Go watch Sesame Street now as an adult.
Lord
I know.
Yumko.
The hell is Snuffleupagus? He don't look like any elephant I've ever seen. Oh,
By the way,
boy.
this beer is really good.
I just wonder if we didn't have any of the gnomes here, would this episode be the same?
I don't think so.
Wow, this is a long name here.
No, but throughout our history, think about that. We've had how many different shows that represent dwarfs or trolls or I don't know. It's you start thinking about this stuff.
More than I thought.
I mean, usually, when you come up with an idea of a story, it's because of a vision or something you've
Right.
seen.
Right.
So, yeah, they could have origins based on reality.
It's true.
I'm freaked out right now. Can you get some freaked out music going on right there?
There we go. I like that.
I almost clicked crickets.
That's about right.
But
We're getting into cricket territory.
well, I think that's what happened when I said Smurfs. Everybody went, "What the hell? Where did that come from?"
Yeah. Where's the Epiphany music?
Epiphany.
Did you really
Yeah.
label it Epiphany?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But it's,
She can read your mind.
I think it's the pink one.
Magic?
There you go.
Yeah. Don't you say that's kind of an epiphany?
No, but okay.
Epiphany?
I don't know. Do you have a story in mind? Are you going to be creating a story?
I can create all kinds
I
of
don't even
stories
remember
based
what I was
off of
talking
Louise.
about. I have a problem with that. I come up with an idea and then I forget completely. Like, what are we doing?
Talking about gnomes.
Where did this beer come from?
It's a pretty good beer.
It's a really good beer.
Yes.
It's kind of an expensive beer.
It really is.
Can't imagine why. Their label should be, "Won't make you a believer yet."
Oh, I mean, show off your new shirt.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look
These,
at
of
that.
course,
Can you
our
see it?
Truth About Beer shirts are from BS Designs, and
Yep, Shay and I do BS designs. So not only do I make gnomes, but we also make.
T-shirts.
Whoa!
oh, this is what I was going for. You mean they're not? They're not made to go over headphones.
Oh boy!
Cut.
This is part of the social.
That was funny as hell. Hey, do that again. You know, from the side, you look like Bane from Batman. You really did with that on. Didn't he? Oh, shit. Oh, that's great.
That was the Cavern Master. Yeah, that was Kushanko Mingdang.
You were the Cavern Master?
He was the Cavern Master, also called Heaven's Eye or Heart of the Rose. Lord, monitor, and guide to all crystalline rose clans. So there's different clans of gnomes.
I feel a
That's
little
what you're-
overwhelmed over all this.
Probably
So it
more
goes
than
back to that different species of gnomes then.
different clans.
Yeah. So maybe it's just how different cultures interpret it maybe then. Right? I mean,
Yeah. I think everywhere you go is going to have their own.
yeah, true.
But it is interesting to know every single little, not every single little, but it is interesting to know the different places and their beliefs or what they know of gnomes or dwarves or whatever. It is kind of interesting.
Yeah. In Cherokee, it was the Iroquois. Those are the little people. So, yeah, I mean, all the Iroquois were little people.
Nissi were
Cherokee.
Norway.
Cherokee.
Tonti were Finnish. These are all names for gnomes in different cultures.
Interesting. You have to save that so we can put
Mono,
that up.
Hungary. I can't say half of these, that's why. But they put them together as gnomes and giants are like as they're categorizing them, they're together.
I can see that. And I think there's a movie that actually pairs the giant and
the
a
gnome.
gnome. Be
Ooh.
interesting to find out which one that is.
Ooh. The Huldefolk of Iceland. The pointed tooth, people eating Nurimbri of the crow in Native America.
Huh.
Were these gnomes, gnome style goofballs.
Goofballs.
Didn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing. And I think all the letters put together says
Goofballs. Probably. So, you know how you look at a lot of American fairy tales, a lot of the stories you heard growing up as a kid, how twisted some of them really are when you really dig into
Yeah,
the
the
meaning
actual
of
fairy
them.
tale.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
the stories of the gnomes could be the same
Like,
way.
Oh,
Grimm's fairy tales.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the nursery rhyme, I mean, Bring Around the Rosie, was all about the Black Plague, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 So,
We learned that in history.
Yeah. And we put kids to sleep with it.
Yep.
even lullabies, like, Rockabye Baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
It's interesting.
crazy.
I like the dark side of gnomes, though, even though these are nice, colorful, beautiful gnomes.
Well, these gnomes are for sale. These are cute gnomes. But it is interesting to learn the history or
Yeah.
know the creepiness of gnomes.
So please, please comment
If you have a
below
story.
this episode
Yes.
anything that you know about gnomes that we failed to discuss, which was probably, 90% or 99% of what gnomes are all about.
Well, and too, if they have a really good story, an interesting story, they can always come on one of our live episodes with us. We can call them or they can call in and we can talk about it.
Yeah, I love the live episodes.
I do too.
They're fun.
And I think you had mentioned that you're finding more and more groups that actually deal with gnomes or like gnomes, right? There's
Yeah.
groups on Facebook and groups all over the place that deal
There
with
is.
gnomes.
Yeah, there's. I think I'm on like 3 or 4 pages that all we do is post the gnomes we create.
So they're all crafting gnomes?
It's all crafting gnomes.
Okay.
It's all these ones. But I mean, it's.
I've got a challenge
fun.
for you.
I love challenges.
I mean, I know you do, but this could be fun.
Is it because I'm beating one right now?
Maybe.
Do we have to bring that up? God, you got to talk about that.
Man, she's such a bragger.
I think I'm in third, though.
Huh?
I think I'm in third
I think
place.
you're second.
Oh, am I in second?
Yeah, Rachel was in third.
Oh,
Yeah, you're in second.
I at least wasn't in last. Lindsay's in
Lindsay's
last.
in last.
Slacker.
No, here's your challenge.
Okay.
Create a backstory for each of your gnomes.
Ooh.
That would be interesting. And if you could sell your gnomes with a little
With a story.
about
Like a
the
little
gnome, little card that's kind of got their backstory, they'll take on a whole new persona.
Heck yeah, they would.
Shay, will you help me with that?
She's
For each theme of the gnomes. I wouldn't do
Yeah,
every
I was gonna
gnome.
Well,
say
not
they're all
every
gonna
gnome,
be-
but I mean each
Like
the
your
style
Easter
or
gnomes,
yeah.
your coffee gnomes, your dog gnomes.
that's a really good idea. That's a great
I'm
idea.
down. I can do
Yeah.
that. I can do that.
Yeah, because then you're giving people something. It's kind of like when they used to adopt the
Yeah, it's not generic.
Cabbage Patch Kids and stuff like that. They all had a little story with them,
Yep.
and yeah, it
Build
just
a
made it
character
more
up for
personal.
us.
Yeah,
That's true.
yep.
I will definitely have to look into that.
I think
Or
that's
even
a great idea.
you could even solicit some help from all these
Audience.
beautiful people out here.
Yeah,
Yes.
send in some ideas for backstories.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
You know, Bigfoot needs a backstory.
Yes. I'd be grateful.
What I'd like to know is the alien abduction gnome story right up to the point where he got abducted.
What was he
Take
doing?
it away. He came to your show?
yeah. He came to Roswell with us.
And who is that ghost gnome? I mean, there's got to be a big story behind that ghost gnome.
What
Is
is
it
Who that ghost
How did he
gnome
die?
was. Yeah.
that's a really good story.
to be continued?
Yeah.
That is to be continued. Or if anybody has a story that wants to be interpreted through a gnome.
That's kind of like a Build-A-Bear type thing,
Like a
you know?
Build-A-Bear
That's
kinda
great.
thing?
That's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of customize it.
Yep.
I'm down with that.
I'm really liking that idea. Thank you.
I think you need to make a hide-a-key gnome,
I hide a key gnome.
right?
But I can't put those in the garden.
That's true. You can't put them outside.
Well, no, see, you turn it into like a, what do they call that? Those hunts you do where you find the clues and they take a...
like geographs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, each gnome will finally, if someone's figured it all out, will lead them to the hide a key.
There you go. I have an idea of a hideaway wine gnome. So I will have a wine bottle and a
The
gnome.
drome,
The drone.
Drome.
the gnome that drinks alone.
Oh no, I'll
But
drink
nobody
with it.
else.
I'll drink with it. I'll drink to that.
Drink alone.
That's funny. That's a great. I think that's a great idea. I think that would be a big selling point for the gnomes. I really
That would
do.
be really cool,
Yeah.
And
actually.
we could get a lot of participation in
Yeah,
that.
heck
It would
yeah.
just be
Be real personable.
a lot of fun.
I think so.
Wow.
What I think would be cool too is, you see this happening a lot more, and some people think it might be a little bit morbid, but I think it's cool. is if you've had somebody pass away, take like an article of clothing or something to remember and buy, and they can give it to you, and you can make
Make a hat?
make a
Wow.
gnome out of it.
Yeah.
That way they can remember them.
That would be
Love that.
that would be
Very
really
good.
cool, actually.
Yeah.
Those are happy
They're
gnomes.
endless. I'm not kidding. Like it's
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
endless.
You can do whatever you want with them.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I like about it. It's every single one has its own personality.
There's no gnome no.
No, no,
No,
limit.
All the same.
There's no limit to gnomes.
There is no limit to gnomes.
So if somebody wants to buy a gnome from you.
Yes.
What's a decent price range that you think they would go for?
Well, these little dudes, they are about $15,
Okay.
and then they go up from there.
Okay.
That helps. So, the more customizing of a gnome, the price is
The more expensive, right?
going to be increased.
That
But
makes sense.
the
So that-
average it starts around 15.
Okay.
So yeah,
Cool. So yeah, we'll put up the link to BS Designs.
yes.
Get a shirt.
Get a shirt.
Yes, and I think we kind of touched on that.
These are hot topic or hot item right now.
Hot item.
Hot item.
Yes.
If you do
Very
want to
styling.
customize mask, shirts, we also do home decor stuff. So
Oh, I don't think there's anything that could top this. These are beautiful.
I don't know. I think a
Oh,
Truth
no.
About Beer shirt with a gnome on
That
it would
would
be
be
very
Oh,
cool.
That would be cool.
Have him sitting in the beer.
We need gnomes doing the toast, you know.
Oh, that'd be cool.
on the sleeve or on the back. Something to think about.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yep.
There's so much to think about.
I like it.
Creative minds.
Yes.
Whoa.
Wait, hey, they don't call this a TTABA think tank for nothing, right?
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, you know what? For now, I think this has been the Truth About Beer and
Invasion of the Gnomes. Not that one.
Invasion of the Gnomes.
Oh, and
There you go. That's what we're looking for.
And then we say, as far as we know.
As far as we know.
Until next time.
Cheers.
So, did I get to Cavern Master?
No.
Has he been like this on his show? On the show ever?
No, this is great. This is, as I said, this is,
Cavern Master Kushashaki Ming Dong. Also called Heaven's Eye.
hold on.
Well, you're gonna have to get some of these pictures up because you're gonna have to post these.
I know.
And did we get hard? Or Hadrian?
What'd you say?
Hadrian.
Hadrian?
Hadrian. He's the also called Voice of the Stars Life Song, Master of Transmutation and Crystalline Sciences. Hey, these are all gnomes.
I know, but you got us laughing over here.
I'm going to throw up.
I'm trying to put out some gnome facts here.
You're
I mean, these are known by
You're going to have to
everybody.
start over because I'm dying over here.
Turn it around.
Hold
Show
on.
it to the camera.
where? Oh, that
Hold on. We got to start. I got to have a place to cut into.
Well, I mean, the Grand Gnome Wizard, I talked about him.
It's your fault. It's all your
This is, I'm trying to bring serious stuff to this topic.
Okay. I gotta dry my eyes then.
Welcome to the Truth About Beer.
Mm-hmm.